Boo! Greetings, boys and ghouls. Ron Zombie here, filling in for your regular host to talk about the culture and art of the scare on this episode of Showreel.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, as the ghosts come a-haunting and hearts will be pounding as zombies draw near. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
For almost 7 generations, the Cheeseman family has operated this farm in Portersville. But in 1999, they decided to add a more ghastly element to their business plan. That would be the Cheeseman's Fright Farm, right here in Portersville. I am with Jen Cheeseman of the aptly named Cheeseman's Fright Farm in Portersville. And Jen, what happened some years back when you're just running the farm and all of a sudden you think to yourself, maybe there's a way we can scare the skin off of people around here?
That's exactly what we thought. It was 1999. I was graduating from college, and my brother and sister were about to graduate high school. And my mom and dad decided they were going to take a leap, and they built Betsy's barn.
Oh, so the barn was the first part.
Barn was the first part.
And that was meant to be part of the haunt, or was that something different entirely at the time?
Yeah, it was. It was for the pumpkins, but we didn't have this much in there.
Okay.
It wasn't even finished when we started. And then about every 5 years, we've put on additions. So
when you started the barn, was that when the haunt first started as well?
yes.
So you did everything at the same time. So you built the barn, you had some nice cute little pumpkins, but then you said, let's frighten some people.
That's right.
And how did that work out?
It worked out great. We built the props, we put people out there to hunt. We actually hunted back then. I'm not sure who ran anything at that point. It was a lot different 18 years ago, and now it's just evolved into Cheeseman's Fright Farm.
Fantastic. And when you first started back in 1999, about how many people did you have come out to do the scares? Was it like a lot of people, or was it compared to what it is today?
No, there was probably 20 or 30 of us, I'd say. And now we have 70 or 80 hunters.
My goodness, so you've grown quite a bit since 1999.
We have.
And when are you operating the Fright Farm?
The Fright Farm is every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We start at dark, so that is right around 8 o'clock, and then it'll be closer to 7. And we go till 10 o'clock, but if there's still people coming in or people in line, we stay open until
everybody gets their last scare in.
That's right.
That is outstanding. Of course, I am very supportive of the whole haunt culture. But when you first started, now I understand that now you have a hayride that takes you to a cornfield that then takes you to the haunt itself. But what did that look like back in 1999?
I don't think there was a corn anything. We had this ginormous train, and there might still be a train, but it's a totally different train. That train took like 4 people to pull it back, and so everything's just kind of grown with us.
So when you come here, of course, you have a mile and a half to think about what you're getting yourself into when you come off of Route 19, and the road itself is kind of eerie and creepy as you come in. Then you arrive at the barn, and then you take a hayride, which I understand has some scares along in it. And then you have the cornfield, which also has some scares in it, if I am not mistaken. And then you have the haunt itself, which has more scares. And then you take a hayride back, which may or may not have more scares. So you have definitely perfected the art of the fright here in Portersville. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
And then beyond the barn and the haunt itself, are there other activities at the Cheeseman's Fright Farm over the course of October?
There is. We also have a pumpkin festival, hence why you
Really?
see all the
Wow.
pumpkins.
And like, okay, and there's a reason for the pumpkins. All right,
There's a reason. And that is every Saturday and Sunday. We're open to the public from 11 to 5. So while you're here, you can take the hayride to the pumpkin patch. You can pick pumpkins. Out back, we have a big hay bale maze that kids are supposed to run through, but they always run on top of. We have a bunch of animals. Kids like to go look at the animals. And I think our signature thing now is our wood-fired brick oven pizza.
Oh my, that sounds devilishly delicious.
It is.
And when did you start serving that up?
Pizza has been here about 4 years. So that was our newest building, actually.
So in addition to the haunt itself and the hayride, you have a concessions area.
We do.
And you have things to offer besides pizza?
Oh yeah, there's pop, hot dogs, nachos,
So
all the concession food.
just in case you really want to scare yourself a good time, you fill up on
Yes.
these wonderful concessions and you go and get yourself frightened to the point of perhaps extraneous activities, which we won't get into further because this is a family show. But you have all these wonderful things. And then do you have group outings of some kind?
We do. During the week, we do field trips. So it's mainly preschools, littler kids, some other groups come out. And that is, you just call, you make a reservation, and same thing happens, only we also take them up to the teepee, we tell them a little story, we
Okay.
pass some things around, and they also get to see a movie. And
Oh,
it's called The
fantastic.
Pumpkin Circle. It's this cute little, shows kids how the pumpkins come out and sing songs.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Once I get here, and I've gone and I've visited the barn and I've gone through the haunts, are there other things going on that might keep people interested in sticking around a while longer?
Yeah, it depends on the weekend. We have some different guest appearances coming in. We have the music is going. There's just people everywhere talking. We do bonfires.
Bonfires.
Bonfires. You can sit at the public bonfire. You can have your own. You can have 2 people at it. You can have 100 people at it. Whatever. We have a bunch of colleges that bring buses up, and go scare yourself, and go back to your bonfire and.
Fantastic. And beyond everything else, I understand that you might have some apparel that you might have available for purchase. Is that
Yes.
possible?
That is possible.
And do these change every year, or do you have pretty much the same style available each year?
Every year they change, and we have been doing that since we started. However, it's really grown to the point where we really should put them on our website to sell them.
Yes, I'm sure they'd be a huge seller. It looks terrific.
Thanks.
And Jen, when you're not using Betsy's Barn to frighten the bejesus out of people, what else might be going on here at any time?
Well, surprisingly enough, we go from scaring people to marrying people. Yeah, so
Of
Betsy-
course, a perfect match.
Yep, the whole barn transforms into a wedding venue, and we do weddings May through August. Then obviously we have to tear everything down and set up for October.
Have you never had somebody request to get married as part of the Halloween festival?
As a matter of fact, we have had 4 proposals this year so far.
This year alone?
Just this year. And one of the couples is going to get married in that corner. On,
That corner right there.
yeah, during like an hour that we're not doing anything. And yep,
Well, that is just about as creepy and romantic a thing as I've ever heard.
yes. Our weddings aren't usually like that.
Well, we're about to embark, I understand, on a tour of the actual Cheeseman's Fright Farm, and even though I am a professional ghoul and I'm not so easily frightened by such things, maybe you can give the viewers, without giving away too many spoilers, what they can expect when they board the hayride for the Fright Farm.
Sure. Well, first you will get on the hayride and you venture up the hill, and that's where you'll be greeted with the first, let's just say, really loud noises.
Loud noises.
Loud noises and scary things.
Scary things.
Scary things. Then you will continue through the cornfields, pitch black.
Pitch black cornfield. So far, I'm not the least bit frightened at all. Continue,
Be
please.
very careful because at that point, a big thing, I won't tell you what it is,
A big
might just
thing.
charge out
Might
at
just
you.
charge at you. Okay.
And then you will venture into what is a campground during the off season, and it is, you would go through alienation, you will possibly get picked up by some things in the trees.
Picked up by things in the tree. Oh, very interesting, intriguing. All right.
And of course, you'll have your goals along the way.
Very good. We've got to have our ghouls, of course.
At that point, you'll get off of the wagon. So don't wear flip-flops. We have people that wear flip-flops. Not a good idea.
In October, I would not advise flip-flops to begin with, but all right, no flip-flops.
No flip-flops. And then you will enter into a whole new dimension. You started a cemetery, and I can't give you away any of the secrets.
Of
but there
course,
will
of course.
be numerous ghouls, clowns, snakes, all sorts of scary bears in the woods. There's
Outstanding. Well, as you can see, I am looking forward to my first experience on the Cheeseman Fright Farm tour, and in a moment on Show Reel, we'll be experiencing this for the very first time, and I'm not the least bit frightened.
boo.
Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All righty.
Send it. Okay.
Yes. Not frightened at all. I'm a ghost myself, you see. So not frightened at all. Not one bit. Thanks, Brad.
That was awesome!
One at a time, single file. Get off my wagon!
Not frightening.
Hi!
Oh, I'll do it.
Are you okay? Nope. I can tell.
That's no ordinary rabbit!
Come on!
That's the most mean, foul, cruel!
That's right. Let's go.
Well, we can see.
Ah!
Not frightening. Not frightened.
Right.
Why did it have to be snakes? Indiana Jones, you got nothing on me.
He's afraid of snakes.
Yes, he is. Yes, that was quite entertaining. But as I mentioned, being a haunt professional, there's very little that can actually catch me by surprise.
At the Strand Theater in Zillionople, we've been celebrating Halloween long before the theater was ever renovated and reopened. And we continue that frightfully fun tradition with a variety of Halloween-themed live productions, movies, and an off-site event that visits local haunts between Zillionople and Harmony. Welcome to the Strand Theater. if you dare. Northern Nightmares Festival started about 13 years ago, and it was designed to be a fundraiser in support of renovating and restoring the Strand Theater. But once the theater was up and running, we were having so much fun with it, we decided we just had to keep it going. And so the Northern Nightmares Festival includes a variety of activities and programs, some here at the Strand, and others are taken on the road, if you will, which includes the Nightmare Tour. The Nightmare Tour is a 45-minute tour through the bowels of Zillionople and Harmony. Zillionople and Harmony are rich in their history and heritage, but like many picture postcard towns, if you scratch the surface, the seedy underbelly can be exposed. And those are the types of places that we visit, and those are the kinds of tales that we tell on the Nightmare Tour. We visit 7 or 8 different stops, and at each different stop we'll tell a ghost story based on urban legend, based on local lore, and also some books that have been written about the subject of hauntings throughout Butler County. The Nightmare Tour, of course, is hosted by yours truly, the ghostly tour guide, otherwise known as Ron Zombie. And during the course of the tour, we tell those ghost stories. At times during the tour, we will disembark the bus and tour the grounds around the reported haunted hotspot and share the ghost stories of the exact locations of some of these hauntings and ghostly apparitions and paranormal experiences that have taken place over the course of generations of time here in Zillionople and Harmony. The Nightmare Tour runs the final 2 Friday and Saturday nights in October. It runs for 4 tours each night at 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30. It is considered to be a family-friendly bus tour because there's no gore, there's no violence or anything like that. It's all ghost stories. It's all about the imagination. So in situations like that, there are children who have come on the tour and just had a grand old time, and then there have been older children which prefer not to complete the tour. It's really up to your child's disposition, but again, it's all about the ghost stories. However, we do have a couple of surprises in store for you along the way. The Nightmare Tour is but one component of an entire slate of programming here at the Strand during the course of October. We have Halloween-themed movies and live programs throughout the entire month. Starting this coming weekend, we have a partnership with the Living Dead Festival in Evans City, where we will have a George Romero double feature. The Living Dead Festival takes place in Evans City over the weekend of the 21st and 22nd of October. However, they come to the Strand for their movie programs, and this George Romero double feature includes the 3rd film of the original Dead trilogy, Day of the Dead, and a more obscure film by George Romero, Night Riders, which stars a very young Ed Harris. It's one of his more obscure films, but members of the cast from both of those films will be on hand for a Q&A session and also to meet and greet fans of the films. The other movies that we have planned in October include Spider-Man: Homecoming. That movie takes place on Friday, October 20th and Sunday, October 22nd. Spider-Man? How is that Halloween, you say? Well, Spider-Man continues to rank among the top 10 Halloween costumes every year during the Halloween season. And then our final Halloween-themed film for this season is an update of a classic children's thriller book series, Goosebumps, from 2015, starring none other than Jack Black. One of the greatest and most fun programs we have at the Strand is called Chiller Theater, the musical. It is a lampoon of those late night fright fests that we all grew up with, watching the classic horror movies hosted by the likes of Elvira and of course Chilly Billy. And it stars Pittsburgh's own Tim Hartman and Missy Moreno, and features a variety of comedy and music, all with the Halloween theme. The first act features Tim Hartman as a 6'6" Dracula, hosting a talk show featuring other classic movie monsters: Frankenstein, the werewolf, the Bride of Frankenstein, and the Mummy. But it also features their children. And the monsters are more freaked out by their children's choice of Halloween costumes than the monsters themselves. There is great music. There's a karaoke contest. And in the second act, Missy Moreno portrays an inept psychic trying to raise spirits of the dead, but conjuring the wrong ones to sing the wrong songs. And the program also features members of the Strand's youth show choir, the Strand-tastics. Chiller Theater, the musical, is a hilarious comedy and music review that you will not want to miss. And it runs Friday and Saturday night, October 27th and 28th at 8 o'clock. The Strand's Northern Nightmares Festival is chock full of outstanding and frightening fun during the course of the month of October. It's something you do not want to miss, or otherwise you may end up here with me. Many people have asked, Ron Zombie, is the Strand Theater haunted? Well, we've had a number of paranormal investigators come through the theater with varying results. But as far as we know, we don't have a ghost here at the Strand, which is why we challenge the local student population to create their own ideas of a legend that haunts the Strand Theater. Every year, we ask students in 7th through 12th grade to write an essay about their idea, their concept of a ghost that haunts the Strand. It's a 500-word limit, and every year we get some very, very entertaining, somewhat disturbing responses from some of these very creative kids. And every year the first prize wins a pair of tickets to a Strand show. In some cases, we've recreated their ghost and used that ghost during the course of the Nightmare Tour. Other times, they win tickets to Chiller Theater the Musical or any one of our other Halloween-themed programs. We'd love to get the children involved in Halloween here at the Strand.
There'll be axes for whacking and chainsaws attacking and screams that you'll hear to and fro. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the horrors of Halloween's long, long ago.
Without giving away too many spoilers, I can tell you that the Nightmare Tour visits the darker corners between Zillionople and Harmony in places like here.
Shadows are playing on everyone's feet. It's the most
And here.
time of the year.
Here. And here. And here. Over here, this way, this one. And yes, even here.
Time of the year.
Today we have visited with two places that delight in the scare. And yet why do we as humans feel so compelled to be frightened during the Halloween season? What is it about it that wants us to go out and find a way to be frightened after the Halloween season? The answer is elusive. But what I can tell you is the Retail Association of America estimates that we will spend over $2.5 billion on Halloween this season between costumes and decor and parties. And so, while we may not understand exactly why people like to be scared, we are more than happy to provide the service, and something that we've been more than happy to discuss. on this episode of Showreel. Until the next time. Oh!
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, I love that bit.
If you would like to find out more about arts and culture in Butler County, PA, be sure to visit the online calendar on the website of the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau.